All right, let me know if you can hear the. All right.
Every legend has a story. Every story has a beginning. New energy, new show, new money. Coming soon to the BDH the D-Money Show. Live on YouTube, weekdays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern.
Took those buys off the 200 level. Who's doing it like we doing it at the BDH, the D-Money Show, Power Hour? Nobody's doing it like us, chat. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I close. I'm out. Where's my money bucket? Where's that money bucket at? It's raining money, chat. It's raining money. The market maker's raining money on me. We got a visitor, chat. Let's see who it is. Jerome's in the house. Live from the BDH. I'm here, baby. That boy good. That boy good. That boy good.
Every legend has a story.
Testing, 1 2. Testing, 1 2. What's going on? What's going on? Live from the BDH is D-Money in the house. D-Money in the house. It is Monday. That boy is officially good. So I do want to thank you guys for tuning in to the D-Money Show. This is the first episode of Power Hour live from the BDH with D-Money. So yes, it is official. So I'm super proud, happy to be here. I got my Celsius. I'm ready to rock. Power Hour. Let's go. So looking forward to it. So I do want to give a shout out to PW. So I'm extremely thankful for this opportunity, guys. Humbled. I was thinking about it today. I was in my apartment and I'm like, you know what? This is really happening. Right? So PW didn't have to do this. So there's a lot of traders out there. I've been watching PW for years. So I'm super appreciative of the opportunity. So thank you guys for tuning in. Right? Number one. So first off, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's go. I'm getting ready, guys, for Power Hour. Right? So we're gonna be rocking out today. So we're gonna get this party started. All right, so I'm just catching up on the chat. Let's go. Yes. I appreciate it. Yo, what's up with the white charts? Correct. You are correct, Amundo. So I do use right charts. Don't knock it until you try it. So I like to keep my charts clean. I talked about that when I was with PW in the mornings. I got no shame to my game. I got no shame to the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game, you know? It's just easier for me, guys. I personally think white is better for my chart. It's just a preference thing. Nice. Tanner, congrats on the $199 donation. I appreciate that. Going to PW, by the way. But hey, congrats on the payout, man. Listen, I gotta be 100% honest with you guys. I was actually telling Ginger before we started to stream today that I'm getting a ton of DMs and messages from you guys that are very, very positive. So payouts, people getting payouts, people actually implementing the 1 hour and 4 hour strategy into their, I guess, trading arsenal. So that's really cool to see. So keep it going. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm happy that I'm adding some kind of value to the chat. So yeah. I lost 6K today. Well, you can't win them all. So yes, we're going to be going over my strategy. Don't worry about it. We're going to be going over my strategy on the stream that's definitely happening. So just stay tuned for that. Did I trade this morning? No. Hi, Mila. Please explain your strat fully. Yes, it will be coming. It will be coming. So music's, I'm ramping up my music right now. So just stay tuned for that. It's happening right now. Yes, I will be going over the strategy, guys. Don't fret. I got the actual, I got the memo in regards to the strategy, guys. It's coming. All right. Just give me 1 second. I'm cranking up the music here. The tunes are coming. Yeah, it flipped. It's gone. So I'm gonna find it myself. I had the music, guys, and it's gone. It's gone. So I gotta bring it back. So just give me 1 second on the music. I'll get the stream music going. We back like we never left. Congrats on your first live stream, D-Money. Wish you the best. You got this. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate that. I'm humbled, to say the least. So I'm glad I got the music going. PW is going to fire me on the first day. So let's go. All right, so what are we looking at on the chart? All right, so as far as NQ, so we know what happened Friday, guys. We were obviously trading Friday live from the BDH. We actually took some buys and sells. We had a dump, we had a sell off. Sunday night, overnight, we basically had a pump. We had a pump up. We saw that. So now we're kind of hanging around, right? So this current time frame that we're on, this is the 4-hour chart, right? This is the 4-hour chart that you guys can see here. The 4-hour chart, basically, as of right now, we got about 18 minutes left on the 4-hour chart. And you got a wick at the top, you got a long wick at the bottom. All right, so we're rejecting currently right now the 14 EMA. So this like red line is my 14 EMA, the blue line is a 50 EMA, right? So this is the 4-hour chart. So there's some indecision going on right now. So got to be a little careful, a little cautious. I'm going to be trading my Lucid straight to funded accounts today. So we'll see what we can come up with. All right, you can't see the chart fully. 1 second, I'm gonna adjust. All right, is that better? So yeah, there's no affiliate code, guys. You're gonna use the code PW. PW is the affiliate code. So you're gonna use that, and that's the only code that we're using, guys. All right, so All right, let me try to adjust that because I see what you're saying. Make it smaller. All right, somebody said the numbers need to be slightly bigger. So I just adjusted it a little bit. Brother, you're live. Will always be from now at the same time. Yes, correct. So it'll be Monday through Friday, 1:30 to 4 o'clock. We're going to be tackling Power Hour. So the vision that I have for this stream, guys, is to be the best show in the afternoon, right? So PW dominates the morning session. So my goal is to obviously add value to what PW is already doing and add value to the BD8. So my thought process is to have the best possible stream for Power Hour, right? So not to try to talk bad about anybody else. I think you guys know that's not really my style. I'm just trying to, right, put on the best show that we can put on in the afternoon. So almost 1,300 people watching. That's crazy, right, for the first stream. So let's go. And by the way, guys, you never know who I'm going to be bringing. I'll just kind of keep it simple, right? You're not going to really know. There's going to be some surprises along the way. There's going to be, we're going to keep it light. We're going to keep it funny, entertaining as much as possible, right? Because it is Power Hour, and sometimes, guys, it is slow. So you have to be a little bit understanding on that. I'm not going to force a trade, but if I see a setup that I like, I'll obviously take the trade. Tom, historic moment. I was here doing the first stream. Hey, I really appreciate it, guys. Like, there's not to kind of get long-winded on it, or emotional, but Ginger actually helped me out a lot because I had some family stuff going on. I wasn't able to make my first scheduled date. I had to reschedule, I think, actually a couple times, and she was super flexible and kind of helped convince PW to have me on. So, and the rest is history, right? So I'm definitely a Ginger fan, right? So she definitely looked out for me. So yes, it will be Power Hour every day. So real quick, I don't know if you guys watched any of the NFL games yesterday. Tampa Bay won. Let's go. So Tampa Bay won yesterday. I saw Kansas City pull it out at the last minute. So yes, guys, I do not only watch the WNBA. I know Patrick was giving me a hard time. I watch other sports, right? So Packers, yeah, I saw that. I'm not a Packers fan, though, to be honest. I actually lived in Green Bay, Wisconsin for a year. So just a fun fact. The summers are super nice, but the winter time is brutal. My kid decided to be a Panthers fan, took the hard road. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, they won how many Stanley Cups in the last couple of years, right? So exactly, that wind chill is no joke. That wind chill is no joke. So yeah, guys, what did I do this weekend? I chilled with my daughter. Watch some football, try to take her to brunch. I was telling Ginger she wasn't having it, right? So she didn't cooperate with that. She's a little sick, so spend some time with her. Got some rest. All right, so
them box covered. Money mouth face pirate flag.
Yeah, so hey, Baker Mayfield, man, that guy, if you want to talk about being resilient and adaptable, right? That guy actually got traded from teams, and look at what's going on right now, right? Sometimes it's the right fit. Ginger plus D-Money equals BDH 3.0. Listen, we're holding down the fort. PW's in California. I know you guys probably watched the stream this morning, so he's in Cali, right? So holding it down, doing big things for 2 weeks. Bro, you about to move. About to make $1 million. That's the plan. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I come from a very humble beginning, guys. I was in a retail management field for over 15 plus years. I've done all kind of positions in retail management, overnight positions. I've done sales floor positions. I've ran stores, right? So I'm not afraid of putting in the work, right? So that's what's going to happen. So as far as my strategy, all right, so I see some questions on the strategy. So we're going to go, let me just flip real quick to the 1 hour chart. Give me 1 second. All right, so this is the 1 hour chart, right? So my strategy is playing into the process of wicks and retests and basically entering on those wicks and retests. Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me just adjust this. Better? All right. So just adjusting the screen, so just bear with me a little bit. You want me to zoom in on the chart so I can make it a little bigger. Yeah, I see it. Hold on. I'm just try to adjust it for you guys. Hold on 1 second.
And the bottom part, move it over a little bit more to the right.
This.
Move that over to the right. The D is the color. Better. Yeah.
All right, so just bear with me, guys, because it's like just adjusting the screen. So if you can see, all right, so this is the 1 hour chart, right? And on the 1 hour chart, you actually have these wicks, right? So the wicks tell stories, right? Because that's where a price tried to go or it attempted to go and maybe it couldn't. So my thought process is basically, right now, currently, we got about 10 minutes until the close of this 1 hour candle, right? So I'm just kind of waiting for a setup to kind of happen. Right now, overall, if I kind of look at the trend on this time frame, the 1 hour chart, we've been consolidating. We've been stuck kind of like in this range, right? Price can't really break out of this level. We're also in between the two EMAs, the 14 and the 50 EMA, right? So for price to continue up, we need to break above this 969 level. If we can do that, then there's going to be some strength probably to break above 25,000. So that's the thought process. If we get back below this 14 EMA, this 852 to 765 level, we're probably going to retest the lows that are marked out here. So by the way, right, my process is at the beginning of every day, I map out the high and the low of the previous daily candle. So the high of the daily candle is up here. It is 25,388. And the low of the daily candle is 24,158, right? 0.5. So I kind of map that out. So it doesn't matter what time frame I go to. Obviously, this is on TradingView. It'll carry over, right? I saw a million questions in regards to my EMAs. Am I using different EMAs on different time frames? It's always the same EMA, guys. It doesn't change. 14 and 50 EMA, it carries over whether I'm on the 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, doesn't matter. Right? So right now we're kind of stuck in this range. So why do you set your EMAs at 14 and 50? This is something that I've been trading for over 10 years. And this was one of the first things that I started with, and I kind of stuck with it. And it's a preference thing. Some people use 9, 21, 200. It just depends. Right? So just kind of keep that in mind. It's a preference thing, but there's no right or wrong with EMAs. So I'm not going to bash you if you got a different setting for EMAs. Whatever works for you works for you. But I just basically never changed it, right? Drinking game starts now. Keyword EMA, Duck Commander. LOL. You're right. It's going to start. So my entries, it depends. Sometimes they're directly off the 1 hour, but I'm always measuring my stop loss. So if the stop loss is big, if it's too wide on the 1 hour chart, basically based off the wicks, then I'm gonna adjust it and go down to the lower time frame to get a smaller stop. Right? It just depends. So I'm typically 20-30 point stop, somewhere in that range. But if I'm trading with bigger size, then I'm gonna actually try to get a tighter stop, and I'll go down to the 5-minute time frame. Do you use VWAP? No, I do not use VWAP. I don't have anything against VWAP. I just basically, I'm trying to keep my chart as clean as possible. And what I've noticed for myself is that the minimalistic approach is better for me. So like I said, no right or wrong as far as, strategy, right? But I'm doing what works for me, right? So yeah, so all I'm waiting for right now, guys, we got about 7 minutes until the open of the next 4-hour candle. So that's why power hour is going to be interesting going forward, right? Because the name of the game for us, we want to take over power hour as far as the BDH. So we got a 4-hour candle that opens every day at 2 p.m. Eastern, and we also have a new 1-hour candle. So my thought process is going to be, how do I actually capitalize on it? So we're back on the 4-hour chart. This 4-hour chart is almost like a bullish pin bar, right? It's kind of like a bullish pin bar, but it's also rejecting the 14 EMA. But prices, if you look, right? So when you guys are asking about my trading strategy, I'm also looking at the lows that were put in, even if it's a bullish candle. So if you look at this 6 a.m. 4-hour candle, you had a low put in, and then the current candle, you had a higher low put in, right? So it's starting to it's trying to build some bullish momentum back to the upside. But we need to break above these two EMAs to get price moving, right? So we do have to be cautious. It's almost 2 o'clock. We're not going to be greedy today. We're going to take what we can get. On what time frame is the chart now? 4-hour. Yes. This is the 4-hour chart. So when you see wicks, so that's a good question. When you see a lot of wicks to one side, what do you think that means? So if I see a lot of wicks, we'll make an example, right? So if there's a ton of wicks on the bottom of these current candles that I'm actually seeing, that for me means that there's buyers present, right? And it might not mean that we bounce right away. We might bounce after a retest down. And you guys will hear me talk a lot about retests, because I'm always trying to get in on retests, right? Because what would happen for me if I'm trading a higher time frame, or if I lose track of time, that's why I have like alarm set on my phone. You guys are, probably laugh when you see the streams, but I have alert set and only to remind myself when hour candles are closing or 4-hour candles are going to open. Because a lot of times at the end of a 4-hour candle closing or a 1-hour candle closing, you'll get some kind of reaction back the opposite direction, right? Within the last 5 to 10 minutes. So you got to be careful. Haha. 2Trader, I can't do it. I appreciate the 5, but I'm keeping it live. So yeah, unfortunately, I trade on white screens, guys. I'm not gonna change that. To each his own, right? So, do you trade off TradingView? Yes, I trade off TradingView, but I'm gonna be trade copying. So, like I said, I have 4 accounts, 4 straight to funded accounts, lucid accounts actually, that I'm gonna be trading. So they're gonna be on. I'll have to switch and show you guys those trades. It'll be on Tradeovate, because you can't trade copy obviously off TradingView. Do you use the PA, Apex, or account funded? So yes, I do have some evals that I'm working on passing for Apex, and then once I get those funded, I'll be obviously trade copying those, so you guys will see that as well once I get them funded to PAs. Vigo, who is this guy? It's D-Money. So if you've been watching PW stream for the last, I think, what, 3 weeks? So yeah, I've actually been it's been a blessing to be trading alongside PW. So now I was granted the opportunity to trade Power Hour. So I am here. All right, D-Money, on a daily basis, do you trade a personal live account for income or props? So right now I'm only trading props. There's nothing wrong with diversifying and having a live account. But you also have to understand the leverage that you get with prop firms, right? Because you're putting up less capital and you're able to capitalize on that, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. There's nothing wrong with having both. All right, so that's my 1 minute alert. So it's 1:59. We got about a minute left. The 5-minute chart, we'll switch to that real quick. So the 5-minute chart is actually closing above the EMAs, looking bullish, but we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for this 4-hour candle to close to try to see if we can get more information. And in my opinion, it's actually closing with some strength, right? It looks like it's closing with some strength. But the 1-hour candle is struggling to close green, right? Which is a little interesting. So let me switch to that on this. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, so it closed red, right? So the 1-hour candle closed red. So it was able to put in a higher high compared to the previous 1-hour candle, but it did close red. So that's a little interesting. We're still stuck in the range between the two EMAs.
I can only see that.
Okay. Now? All right. Give me 1 second, chat. I'm just trying to adjust it so you guys can see the other side of the screen. Better? Better? Oh, okay. All right, so hopefully that's better for you guys to see. So we'll kind of keep it there, right? All right, so now, all right, somebody said I'm only analyzing, I'm not trading. I'm gonna be taking trades if I see a setup, guys, for sure. No, you can't. The way that it's set up, you can't, because we're using OBS. You can't share the whole entire screen. All right, somebody said, can you play some music in the background? You can't hear the music in the back? You guys don't hear the music in the background? All right, so we're just kind of analyzing this 1 hour candle. I'm taking a look at it. I see bullish pressure to the upside. We had a bullish pin bar. With some strength, right? So it's actually pushing up. So let's check this 4 hour candle. So ideally what I would be looking for right now, because I like the buys, I would want price to preferably push down on the 4 hour chart and actually form some kind of bottom wick. So this is the 4 hour chart, right? So preferably I would want price to push down somewhere and form some kind of bottom wick. It's pushing straight up. So you got to keep in mind that this is this candle's only been open for about 3 minutes. So there's still plenty of time left, right, for us to capitalize on it. So maybe not 100. Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility, but I kind of want more of a retest down. So, all right, so price, it closed as a bullish pin bar on the 5 minute chart. All right, it did close as a bullish pin bar on the 5 minute chart. But I will want price to come back down probably for one more retest. And then I can put my stop below the EMAs. So I'm gonna just kind of let price play out a little bit, and then we'll kind of see. What are you trading, D-Money? We're trading NASDAQ. I'm trading, that's all I trade is NASDAQ, right? So I'm trading NASDAQ, and I'm trading the Lucid straight to funded 150K accounts. All right, so here's the 5 minute candle. So when you start looking at these candles, right? So everybody, oh, what's your strategy? Can you explain the strategy in detail? So I'm basically just looking at candle formations and actually trying to make a informed decision as a trader as far as, okay, where's the best price for me to buy based off of price action and how candles are forming. And right now it's holding the 14 EMA. It is. Right, but the only problem for me is that my stop would have to be back below like this bullish pin bar at 894. So it's about a 40-point stop. I want price to come back into in between the two EMAs, the 915 and 890 level, preferably, so I can enter. Brian, so I watched some of PW stream today, right? So about the holiday, guys. Yeah, it's a holiday, but it's Columbus Day, and this is not a day that NASDAQ's open regular hours. How many contracts? So it depends on my stop loss. So typically I'll trade anywhere between 1 and 2 contracts depending on the stop loss. Did I enter a trade this morning? No, I did not. Yeah, I did not take a trade this morning. Aaron, what's up? Thanks for being here, brother. Like I said, I'm super grateful, guys. This is my first independent stream on the BDH network that PW is building, right? So that boy good. That boy good. D-Money for prop. 50K accounts, $2,500 drawdown. So how much? So it sounds like you're probably talking about like Apex or similar. How much would you risk per trade? So listen, I'm not the guy that's going to tell you risk 0.05 per trade or whatever the case may be, right? You got to do your own risk management and kind of determine how long you want to stay in the game, right? Because you're going to take losses. Like, it's part of the game, guys. Like, nobody's going to be right all the time. I'm not going to be right all the time. I'm live streaming, so you're going to see me take losses. PWs takes losses. Everybody takes losses, right? So, but that doesn't mean that you're out of the game. You can end up positive on the day if you manage your risk, right? So if you got calculated stops, if you're risking $400 to $500 per trade, you should be fine. How many contracts to pass take profit trader 50K account? I mean, that's totally up to you. But I typically trade 1 to 2 contracts. All right, so what am I looking for, right? So price is kind of stalling. So it's the open of a new 1 hour and 4 hour candle. If I click to the 4 hour chart, you can kind of see right now, right? So look at the 4 hour chart. Price failed so far to put in a higher high. And it's almost like it's one of those things where I wanted to retest down before pushing up, because if you look at the wick on the bottom of this current 4 hour candle, we only have about 4 points. So there's like literally no wick, right? It's only a 4-point wick. That's not big enough. I want more of a retest down. Might not get it, right? But if it starts pushing with some momentum, then I can always reassess. How many trades per day? 2 to 3 trades per day. 2 to 3 trades per day. That's typically my max. And I'll be honest, guys, I struggle with that a lot. When I first started trading, I was the guy that was trading every session. I was trading Asian session, London session, like US session, and honestly blowing accounts because I didn't know when to stop, right? Just because the market's open, it doesn't mean that you can trade. And what you're going to find out when you start if you start journaling your trades, if you guys do that, you're going to start to see there's certain times that you probably trade better than others. Maybe a different, maybe a certain session you trade better than others, and that's probably the session you should probably stick to. All right, so here's the rejection. It's starting to reject a little bit. If it holds this 14 EMA on the 5-minute chart, which is at 917 level, then buys are still in play. Probably up to 960. I prefer US session. So yeah, the 9:30 open, and then obviously power hour. So if I enter in a buy on this trade, guys, the stop loss is gonna be back below the EMAs, which is gonna be that 913 area if it continues to hold its EMA. D-Money, your patience and professionalism are admirable. Congrats on the new show. Oh man, that means a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, we're gonna try longs, guys. Stop loss is gonna be back above. It's gonna it's gonna be that 915 area. If it goes to 915, we're out. Not gonna give it a lot of room. All right, so If it breaks, yeah, so if it breaks below the EMAs, I want to be out of the trade, and right now it's stalling, so, and that happens. Yeah, we're kind of stuck in no man's land right now, right? So let's see. So this trade was basically based off of, we had a wick that formed at the bottom, start to push up. We're trying to see if we can hit that like 948, 950 level. We might not get it, but that's okay. Like, we get stopped, there'll be another trade, guys. It happens. And that was just, yeah, I was holding the EMA on the 5-minute chart, but it is having some trouble here. So if we end up getting a deeper, so if I end up getting stopped or I close it early, and if it comes down to this like 900 level, then I'll look to probably re-enter. Yeah, price action, remember guys, like you had a big move. Whenever you have a big move like this overnight, and then you had a big move on Friday, a lot of times it's a little tougher the day after. So just be mindful of that. The best, I think, course of action is having defined stops. So I wanted to start getting some momentum, right? I wanted to start pushing up, trying to challenge this 958, 950 level. It held the EMAs, it did a retest. I'm up $10. I'm up $10. That boy good. That boy good. Nah, I'm just making light of it, guys, because price action at this time is kind of slow, right? So you just got to kind of celebrate and let price work out. Let's see if we can get some momentum to the upside. There you go. So we had it right for a second. We had some momentum to like that 940 area, and then it pulled back. So let's see if it comes back or if it starts to stall out. So why do I prefer trading NASDAQ? It's only because that's, you definitely, typically you have some pretty good movement. So some of the, you know, I never got into gold. I know a lot of people that trade gold and they're very successful with gold, but every time I tried to trade gold, it gets choppy, right? Every time I tried to trade the ES, it's not moving, right? So that's why. All right, so this trade's kind of stalling out. 218. All right, if it breaks below this 925, I'm gonna be out. So like this 923 level, my stop's gonna be in. Because I want it to hold this price action that it put in, right? If it doesn't hold it, then I don't want to be in the trade. I would rather wait until it comes down to maybe the 900 level for a retest. All right, so your chart's too small. Can you increase it 20% maybe? So hold on for 1 second. Let's see if what happens with this trade, and I'll try to adjust it. All right, your chart is not small. It's just the colors make it harder to see. Yeah, guys, so as I get a little bit more, I guess, in tune with adjusting it, I'll do what I can so you guys can see it better. Some people are saying they don't have an issue with it. Some people are saying they do. So chart is fine. All right, so I'm not sure what, you know, don't change how you do things. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not gonna, that's a good point. The white screen's here to stay, guys. I apologize for that, but that's how I trade, right? Where's Jerome? Jerome's gonna be making an appearance, guys. Don't you worry. All right, so now it's starting to push back up, right? Let's see if we can get this momentum to the upside that we want. So yeah, so you got to be patient, right? So I remember when I first started trading, I would be so anxious. Every move, every tick, you know, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down, I'm up. And guys, you can't trade like that, right? And that just comes, I'll be honest, with experience and taking losses. You're gonna take losses. Like once you start taking losses and like realizing that it's part of the game, you got to have a controlled stop. That's all you can do, right? There's nothing else you can do. You don't control the market at all, right? So put the trade on, let the trade play out. How do you learn to hold trades longer? Experience. That's pretty much it. You know what's funny though, guys? Like, so I remember like last week, the week before that, everybody was asking for my, oh, we want to see your charts. And I told you guys, there's nothing spectacular on my charts. It's a white screen, right? Like everybody trades differently. The chart doesn't mean you're going to be profitable, right? Your setup, it's whatever you prefer. So let's see if we can put in a higher high off this current candle. Let's see. There you go. There you go. There you go. Come on. Come on. All right. So it's trying to push. I'm going to move this down a little bit. %90 off Legends. Yeah, I saw PW stream. Just he'll definitely post it, guys. The deal. So just stay tuned. I know he posted it. Use code PW for the best deal. That doesn't change, right? So all right, we're almost there. 9:45. I'm not gonna be greedy. All right, 570, 950. Oh, there you go. Target price hit. Let's go, chat. Let's go. First trade, power hour, banger. Let's go. All right, so let's see here. That boy good. That boy good. That boy good. All right, so let's find the. All right, so as you guys can see, right? So can you see that full screen, Ginger? Okay. All right, so that was the 4 Lucid straight to funded accounts, guys. $700 per account. Who's doing it like this in power hour, guys? That's what I want to know, right? So that boy good. That boy good. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I just deleted that stop right now. So that stop is gone. All right, so let me kind of go over that trade real quick. Let me switch back. All right, so this is the 1 hour chart. I'm gonna try to blow it up. Let me close this out. Hold on 1 second. All right, can you guys see that better? The chart, like, is it bigger? All right, so on a 1 hour chart, we put in a higher high on this candle, which is the 1 o'clock candle, right? We put in a higher high. It closed red, but it's in between the 2 EMAs. The 2 EMAs I have on my chart, 14 and 50 EMA, right? So the thought process was we're going to get a retest down, form some kind of bottom wick, and then push up and retest the highs. Even if we don't take out the high, right, we're going to put in some kind of high on a retest, and that was the trade, right? So if we go to the 5-minute chart, let's go to the 5-minute chart. So what I saw on the 5-minute chart, guys, I saw this candle right before the close at 2 o'clock. We had a bullish pin bar. It actually did a retest back below the 2 EMAs, the 14 and the 50 EMA, closed as a bullish pin bar. I saw price push up, put in a higher high, came back down close to the 14 EMA, did a retest, and I pretty much bought, right? Anticipating we were going to push up, trying to put in higher highs. D-Money, I think everyone is saying the target price on the order was too small. I don't think it's the actual chart they're struggling with, my 2 cents. Yeah, so I don't know, guys. So remember, this is power hour, right? So we're not gonna, depending on the setup, if the price actually stalling all day, a lot of times what happens, what I've noticed is that during power hour, you'll get an expansion to maybe to the upside or to the downside. But it's been kind of hanging out in this range, right? So like I said earlier, I wasn't, I'm not going for 100-point trades. you know, for huge wins. $700 per account, that's fine, right? So you do the math on that, that's $2,800. Yes, power hour is 3 to 4, correct, but we're trading the power hour session. So this is the afternoon session, right? So yes, we'll probably hopefully get another setup between that 3 to 4 with the session closing. This was basically the closing of the last 4-hour candle and the opening of a new 4-hour candle. So that was just the first trade. PW put that boy good. No, guys, that was actually me. I actually replied to the PW chat. It's kind of funny, but it's so funny. All right, so what I would say, and I'm just kind of thinking, like when I first started trading, right? And I'm not an expert, guys. Like I have struggles. I still go on tilt sometimes, right? Believe it or not, I struggle like everybody else. So, but I think I kind of mentioned this. I think maybe the first week when I was on stream live with PW, like when you're trading live, I guess certain people are different. It actually forces you to, well, for me at least, it makes me be more patient and look for the right setups, right? Because that's just how it is. So for myself, I'm basically waiting for a retest on a 1-hour chart, and then now we'll kind of see, right, what happens. So on a 5-minute chart that we're currently on, as you can see, price is trying to put in a higher high, and I think it hit my take profit. I was there, but now where do we go, right? So, and the reason why I say that, you always have to be cautious of the higher time frame. This is the 4-hour chart, so this red line is the 14 EMA on the 4-hour chart, and typically when you tap it, which we literally just tapped that 4-hour 14 EMA, there's some kind of reaction that happens. Not all the time, but a lot of times there's some kind of reaction. And if you can notice right now, we're kind of pulling back a little bit. So that's why my take profit on that trade wasn't going to be extremely large, because you have to know where you're at on a higher time frame at all times, right? So I knew that we were approaching that 14 EMA on the 4-hour chart. So my take profit is not going to be 50, 60 points based off of that. So does this mean you won't be trading with Pat in the mornings anymore? So as of right now, yes, that's correct. I'll be trading power hour. I'll be trading, I'll be live streaming 1:30 to 4. And the plan is to help expand the BDH, right? So PW dominates the morning streams, and the dream and thought process is that, hey, let's try to take over the afternoon streams, right? And help grow the BDH. So that's the idea. So you guys, basically, if you can't catch for some reason, if maybe you're working, or maybe you didn't catch any trades during the AM live stream, I'll be here in the PM, and then vice versa, right? BDH 24/7, baby. Let's go. We need more likes. Hit the like button, guys. If you're watching, I appreciate it. We need overnight session too. Never listen. With PW, anything can happen, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if there's somebody streaming London session or Asian session, right? So, all right. So looking at the 4-hour chart, I can't tell you guys how many times I've actually made a mistake, and I will be buying right now at like this 965 level and like wondering why price is stalling out. And that's what kind of led me to start like deep diving to kind of figure out like why, you know, my trades weren't working out. And that's how I kind of got addicted to the higher time frame. Because once I start going up in time frames, price started to be a lot more clear because there's less candles, right? So you're able to almost eliminate some noise just based off of that. You didn't get stopped out, did you? No, my actual take profit got hit on that trade. So what time frame did you enter on? So that was on a 5-minute chart. So let's go back real quick. Yeah, that was on a 5-minute chart. That was basically going off of this candle, closing with some strength above the 14 EMA, bullish pin bar. Oh, 1 second. All right, so if you kind of notice, right? So you had a bullish pin bar closed right before 2 o'clock Eastern time, and then you had bullish candle or retest of the 14 EMA, and then you had a push up. So that was the thought process. But if you notice, right, my exit pretty much was spot on, because if you notice now we're starting to reject this 960 level and we're starting to pull back. And that's why you have to know what the higher time frame is doing, right? Even though, yes, we've had some strength on the lower time frame chart, we're at a level now where price could easily stall. And maybe, and who knows, right? Maybe at 3 o'clock from 3 to 4, maybe there's a big push, right? Which is technically power hour. EMA 9 and 20 on a 5-minute chart, that's a preference thing. I use the 14 and a 50 EMA. So my red line is the 14. Luz, I appreciate it. Give DMONEY a like. And I saw Joe earlier, so I appreciate the views. Tuning in. Luz, I'm still not hiring you as a babysitter though, but I appreciate the comment. Let's go. DMONEY 1-0 so far. Yeah, I mean, you know, losses are going to happen though, guys. I can promise you that. Losses are going to happen. I'm not going to, you know, it's impossible to not take a loss, especially when you're trading live. It's going to happen. But transparency is something that, you know, I'm not going to shy away from that, right? So, hey, all you can do is take the same trade setup, and you guys will see that. I'm going to take the same setups over and over, basically, right? And then I'll let the probabilities play out. DMONEY, do you know David Hunter? Not that I'm aware of. Does he know me? I mean, I'll be honest, guys. Like, I've worked in like retail management and that kind of deal where there's literally 400 to 500 people per store, and I've worked in a lot of stores, so I do know quite a few. You know, I know a lot of people, but What time is your chart? Sorry, I just logged in. What time is your chart, or what time is the stream? So the stream is going to be 1:30 p.m. Monday through Friday till 4 o'clock. So if you missed the trade we took, or that I took, sorry, yeah, I actually took a trade off the 5-minute chart. Hit take profit, roughly $700 per account, right? 4 accounts, that's $2,800. When did you find time to trade? When you were a big shot at Walmart and Target? So whenever I could, I mean, days off, you know, like if I was closing, if I had a closing shift, store managers have to close once a week. So I would use that time to close during the day in the morning. Just whenever I could. All right, so if you guys notice, look at the 5-minute chart. Price is currently rejecting. So this is why, like, and let me go back to the 4-hour. All right, so if you notice on the 4-hour chart, price is having a hard time getting above that 14 EMA, right? It's pulling back. So that's why you have to be aware of the higher time frame, because if you don't even click over, and I've done that so many times, I'm stuck on the 5-minute or the 1-minute chart. I'm not even looking at, I wasn't even looking at the 1-hour or 4-hour chart, and I would be buying, price is going up, and then it was like magic. I would always be buying when price is starting to reject, and that's part of the reason why. So in order for the bullish momentum, I guess, to continue, I would want to see price get back above this 14 EMA, but it needs to close above the 14 EMA. So if I go to the 1-hour chart, this is the 1-hour chart. All right, it's having a hard time right now. Tennessee Rob, congrats on the show, D-Money. Sky's the limit. I appreciate that, man. Like I said, I'm honestly humbled for the opportunity. PW didn't have to do this. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I don't take it for granted at all. So I feel like I owe Ginger like a bottle of wine or something. Right? So just for being flexible and making sure that I was able to get an opportunity, so to get on the show. All right, is this a permanent arrangement with you doing afternoon power hour? Yes, correct. So I'm going to be doing power hour Monday through Friday, 1:30 to 4. How do I combat overtrading? That's a good question. So limit yourself. So I think for me, what helped me is limiting myself to 2 to 3 trades per day and then walking away. And that's easier said than done. Because if your first trade is a loss, that could spiral you into tilting for the day, right? Where you're over trading. Oh, I got to get that money back. Plus plus more. And then all of a sudden it's destruction time, right? So the higher time frame actually helped me trade less, because you might get less setups based off the higher time frame. And I know some people don't want to hear that because they like the adrenaline rush of trading every 5 minutes, but oh, that must have been something else that was open. Sorry guys, because I'm not in a trade, so I don't know where that came from. All right, what would you look for on shorts on this current price action? All right, that's a good question. So if I go back to the 5-minute chart, this is the 5-minute chart. I would like to see price back below the 50 EMA. Price needs to basically go back below this blue line, which is the 14 EMA, and then basically maybe drop down, put in a lower low, come back up and retest the EMA and maybe reject it, and then that would show some weakness. All right, who's there trading with you? Somebody said PW put in a trade from his phone. Yeah, maybe. You never know. I don't think PW trades from his phone though, to be honest. D-Money, let's go. Great stream so far. Hey, I appreciate that. Gen 3 Camry. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I know that you show some love in the chat, so I'm starting to recognize like names, right? Like as far as people that are commenting like all the time. So hey, I appreciate it. Like I said, guys, I'm 100% humbled, and sometimes I even have to pinch myself because I've been watching PW for years. So life can take you in like certain directions that maybe you weren't even like expecting. Nathan Toft, notice me, D-Money. You're noticed. You are noticed. All right, so we got about 15 minutes for the close of this current 1 hour candle. We took one trade. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. And the reason why like I want to kind of flip in between time frames so you guys can kind of see how price is setting up on different time frames, but the thought process is going to be the same. So right now I see a double top forming on the 15-minute chart, which is a sign of rejection, but we did have a higher high that was put in right on this candle, 15-minute candle that opened at 230 that just closed. So with the EMAs, what I look for with the EMAs, right? So when price is extremely bullish, the EMAs are gonna expand, right? So they're gonna go further apart. So that tells you that the buyers are in control in this case because we're above the EMAs. So when I kind of talk about, okay, I want to see a retest back in between the EMAs and then the EMAs hold, that's what I'm referring to. So but right now, you know, you got about 15 minutes left. I wouldn't be surprised if there's maybe some more downside coming before the close of this 1 hour candle. It just depends. Why didn't you take the short from the top of the, I guess you're saying 1 hour to go. I'm not sure on that question. Why did you take the short on top of the, were you meaning to say 1 hour waiting to go long? So yeah, I took buys just because I saw price close above the 5-minute chart, close above both EMAs on the 5-minute chart as a bullish pin bar. Did we get 1,000 likes? Let's go. Hey, I'm extremely humble, guys. You guys don't even understand. You mind explaining your thought process on proper risk reward? Yeah, so you're gonna hear that a lot if you continue to tune into the stream. So basically, I'm always measuring. You have to measure out your trade. I'm a firm believer in that in regards to how much risk you're putting on versus how much you're trying to make, right? So a lot of times my stop loss, maybe I can't get in on the 1 hour off the 1 hour chart directly, but maybe I can get in off the 5-minute chart. I'm still going off the higher time frame bias. So if I'm bullish on the higher time frame, I'm still going to be looking for buys, but I'm probably going to enter on the 5-minute chart because I can control my stop better. Right? So maybe a buy on a 5-minute chart is a 20-point stop, but it may have to be above a previous wick or below a previous wick on the 1 hour chart, which could be 50, 60 points. And like I said, just continue to tune into the stream. You'll see I do the same trades over and over. Have you ever traded ES? I'm new and found NQ was a little too fast paced for me and have found better success on the ES. Yeah, so I'll be honest, the ES is a little bit too slow for me also, so I stick to what I'm comfortable with. You know, NASDAQ is what I've started trading when I switched to futures. I used to trade Forex. And that was basically around the time when Forex started getting all this, I guess slimy prop firms that popped up, and, they were slipping people and like all of that. And then I stumbled on futures. And it's funny because only way I got into futures, I actually started watching YouTube live, and I stumbled upon PW. That was a few years back. Funny enough. Never looked back after that. So do you ever take 14 and 50 cross on the EMA? Yes, that's a good question. So I do, but I still will wait for a retest, right? So what I would want to see on a 5-minute chart, like how you see there's an EMA cross right now on this current chart, I want price to push up, form the cross, and I would want price to come back down at least to the 14 EMA for a retest, and then I would take a buy. Because if I take a buy up here, right, at 949 and it does a retest down to 892, like, where's my stop? That's a pretty big stop. So I want to buy as cheap as possible. That's the thought process. Exactly. Yeah, you would be stopped out. It's like a 50-point stop. So I want to get in as close as I can to the retest. D-Money, how did you get to know PW? So I literally sent an email to Ginger. PW mentioned it on the stream one time that, hey, if you want to come to the BDH, right? So I sent an email. I knew I was a local trader, obviously, right? Because I knew he was here in South Florida. I live in downtown Fort Lauderdale area. So that's how. The rest is history. All right, can't see the time frame on your chart. Yeah, you might not be able to see it, but I'm literally calling out what time frame I'm on. This is the 15-minute chart. This is the 15-minute chart that we're on. All right, so this is a really good question. When do I think the gap is going to be filled? My answer is I do not know. Anything's possible. Right? So we know what happened on Friday. If you were trading Friday or watching the markets Friday, you had the huge sell-off on Friday. And then all of a sudden, right, Trump tweeted again on yesterday that don't worry about China. And then the market pushed back up, right? So we do have CPI that's scheduled for this week. And to be honest, I'm not even sure if that news is going to be released because of the government shutdown. But anything's possible. All right, somebody said the CPI is coming to 24th, so maybe they moved it. I mean, that's a possibility. Yeah, so they moved it. Okay, so that right there, like, probably means that they're anticipating the shutdown's going to be over, right? I mean, that's, if I had to guess. Do you trade US 30? No, I do not. I mean, I see a lot of people on social media that have been trading that for years. But no, I do not trade US 30. $14 and $50 EMA. Do you check ES and Dow for reference on price action? So sometimes, but to be honest, not all the time. So because price action for me is, there's a saying in trading. I know you guys have probably heard it. Price action is king, right? That's what everybody says. So I made the mistake of, and I'm always going to be like open with you guys and share like struggles and stuff like that, right? So I made the mistake when I first started trading of basically putting too much weight on it. So if I saw the ES going up as an example, if the ES was bullish, I would be like, oh, the NASDAQ has to drop right now. But a lot of times there's a lag. So even if the direction is right, and we are starting to pull back right now, right? And somebody said that yeah, ES is pulling back. But you're going to find out, guys, if you're going strictly based off that, a lot of times you're going to try to time. I find myself trying to time the move, and I can't trade like that, right? You can't really trade like that. So price action is going to kind of dictate. So right now on the 5-minute chart, as we kind of talk about it, so let's go back to the 5-minute chart. So, all right, so if we can close below, and you know what's interesting, I kind of mentioned it. Look at the 1 hour, look at the 1 hour candle now. Right, so if you were buying at that 65 level, your account, she gone, right? So almost a 60-point drop. So you got to kind of be careful. And yeah, somebody's saying better to watch NVIDIA, and it does hold a lot of weight. But I mean, you'll still see it in the price action, right? You'll still see the price action kind of, I'm looking for clues at all times in the price action. So this is the pullback that we were kind of talking about, the rejection off the EMA, the 50 EMAs pulling back. You got about 6 minutes or about 5.5 minutes of price action left before power hour officially starts. And this 1 hour candle, as of right now, right, because you still got about 5 minutes left, it's closing bearish, right? Rejection, but it did put in a higher high. Will it take out the lower low, the previous low, which is that 888 level? Will it take that low out? Remains to be seen. Somebody put I sold the top. That boy good. Yeah, so that's why I wasn't holding the buy, right? Like you have to kind of measure out, because if you're getting caught up and trying to, I'm going to hold it for 100 points, you know, and if the higher time frame has a level that price may struggle at, like an EMA or something, like I don't want to be holding that. Do you trade fair value gaps, and what is your take on today's market open gap? I do not trade for fair value gaps, and I'm not saying that you can't make money from them. I'm more of a price action trader, breakout retest trader. I'm not here to knock, you know, somebody's trading strategy. Like if it works for you, it works for you. Spencer 2001, you're killing it. Great job on your first solo stream. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Yo, DMONEY, my homegirl asking if you're single. Oh, man. It keeps getting better, right? So somebody last week, or I think last week and a week before, they were asking about ice cream. What kind of ice cream do I like? I'm still kind of torn on that question. You're loved here. Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, guys. Welcome. You know, listen, live streaming, coming into live streaming and trading on a platform that has been built. Everybody knows, like, PW shows like the biggest live stream show, right? I mean, all you got to do is look at the views. I mean, it's not hard to see that, right? So to be welcome how I am, and I know, you know, hey, everybody's trading style is a little different, and that's fine, but I'm just happy that I'm able to add some value, right? So I'm humbled. What up, DMONEY? When you come into Brickell with PW McLaren? I think I got to build up more equity before he lets me drive his McLaren, guys. Come on, man. How do you correlate news events such as CPI, PPI, FOMC with price action for a valid entry where volatility doesn't wipe you out? So my advice is, I would probably, I don't know if you're referring to taking news trades. So you don't have to trade news. You can let price kind of settle down a little bit and then, you know, go from there. right? Let price kind of show you the hand. You hear me talk about that a lot. Let price show you its hand and then pick a, let it pick a direction, so to speak, and then go from there. So, all right, on the 5-minute chart, what's interesting here as we get ready for the close of this 1 hour candle, you had some selling pressure, right? You can see that, the selling pressure on the 5-minute chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You had 5. This is the 6th candle. Let's see how it closes. If it closes red, basically, then, but there's definitely some selling pressure in there. So it's going to be interesting to see. So how price kind of ends this 1 hour candle. If it closes back in between where it currently is, right, which is in between the 14 and the 50 EMA, then that's a positive sign, because the last time when you look to the left, so I'm always looking to the left to see what price did the last time it was in this area, we had a push back up, right? So you got 30 seconds roughly left for the close of this candle. No, I'm not back on the 1 minute. I don't trade the 1 minute chart, guys. I'm on the lowest I go is 5-minute chart. All right, so here's the opening of the 3 o'clock candle, 1 hour. So this is the 1 hour chart that you're looking at. All right, so you got some exhaustion, weakness, whatever you want to call it, right? The top wick. So I'm gonna wait until the close of this, at least the close of this first 5 minutes. Let price kind of pick a direction, and we'll see what happens from there, right? And the reason why I'm saying that is because, so we're right at the 50 EMA on the 5-minute chart. How did I find my trading strategy? So, what's crazy about it? Like, I've always, in trading, a lot of times you try different things, and I've tried a lot of different things. But I started with the 14 and the 50 EMA on my chart, and I ended up taking it off and putting different things on my chart, and then basically kind of discovered that going back to keeping it simple works better for me. So that's how. All right, right now we're rejecting. So it'll be interesting to see if we close on this 5-minute candle with some momentum to the downside. Maybe we get a bearish EMA cross. Hey, Xavier, not gonna lie, I was not expecting your chart to look like this. Yeah, like I said, guys, I don't have anything crazy on my chart. 14 and the 50 EMA. That's it. Alex, what's good, player? Do you ever trade the 13 and 48? I'm not sure what that question is. I'm sorry. My settings for the EMA, maybe you're talking about? It's 14 and 50. All right, so let's see. You guys said you can't see it, so let's... (13 in EMA and 48 cross). Yeah, I don't trade that, Skeletor. All right, we got about a minute and a half left on this 5-minute candle. It just put in a lower low. It was kind of hanging out in this area since like 130 area, right? That low was holding, that 890 area was holding, but it just put in a lower low. But there's no need to rush. I'm gonna kind of let price dictate what it wants to do, and then I'll try to make an informed decision, right? So right now on the 5-minute chart, you got some selling pressure that's been going on. So if you guys remember, thinking back to like last week and the week before, I talk about this a lot. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7 red candles on my chart. They're black, right? Just because they're easier to see. So you had a lot of selling pressure so far. So I would not be looking to get short from here, right? Like it's just. EMA cross, what does the EMA cross indicate? So a lot of times they're moving averages, right? So an EMA cross can sometimes direct you to where price is moving with momentum. So if price is above the EMAs with a cross, that means that price could be bullish, right? If price is below the EMAs with a cross, price could be bearish. All right, so the 5-minute chart closed with a bearish candle, right? So here we go. We're still selling down. So if I'm bearish, I would want price, and let's go to the 1-hour chart. Are we going to hold this 869 level, right? So because the last time we were at the EMA, pretty close to it, we had a bounce. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see something. But if I'm looking for buys, I want price back above the 14 EMA. And typically when you see this many black candles in a row or red candles on your chart, probably there's some kind of bounce that's coming. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a retest back to the upside. Why do profitable traders use a prop firm? Don't you get hammered on taxes? Yeah, I mean, you're going to get taxed on live account as well, right? Yeah, if I'm long here, my stop will be back below the low that was put in that 882 area. And here's the pop. Yeah, I do not use VWAP. I do not use the VWAP. There's nothing wrong with the VWAP, but I'm not going to add it to my chart because, you know, a lot of people have it, but stick to what works for you, right? Yeah, the 1-hour chart right now, we're kind of, in order for price to kind of, I would say, keep some bullish momentum, the 870 level needs to hold, which is the low of the 12 o'clock candle. Xavier, no, I did not trade this morning. So I did not trade this morning. Since it's pumping now, would you call that initial fall putting in the bottom wick? So, yeah, but you got to remember, right? So, yes, as of right now, correct. It formed the bottom wick and is pushing up for a retest. And like I said, I wouldn't be shorting because you had so many candles to the downside, right? I mean, it's like, I want to see if this current 5-minute candle can close above the 14 EMA, which is that 9, like 16 area. If it can close above there with some strength, then that's could be more room back to the upside. Yeah, I did. Sounds like D-Money came from the Forex stomping grounds. You're right. I used to trade Forex. Before Forex became scam city, right? As far as prop firms slipping people on purpose because they're profitable and like all of that stuff, right? And what was more attractive with me with futures is there's more, at least regulation. The price is the same. So whatever price I see on my chart, you're going to see the same price. That kind of stuff. Yeah, I used to trade, like I traded with the Funded Trader, if you guys remember them. The Funded Engineer, I traded with them. All right, so the 5-minute chart, it closed above the 50 EMA. I want to close above the 14, which this current candle is pushing above the 14, but let's see how it ends up, right? No, I did not get hit by MFF, but I'm aware of what happened with MFF. Yes. Slip them, which is crazy if you think about it, right? That's actually scary. NQ Scapper Mom. Hi, D-Money. Tuning in to your show in the car. Wouldn't miss it. Wow. I'm humbled. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate the love. All right, so what am I looking at right now? So we had some selling pressure. We had a pretty good momentum candle back. This 305 candle actually closed above the 50 EMA. I want to see if price can actually close above the 14, which is like that 916 area. If so, then that's gonna might be an interesting place for another buy. Yeah, not like in the sideways chop. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be mindful of the time. So this is the current 15-minute chart. So it's gonna be interesting to see. So all right, perfect example of like kind of like what I'm talking about, right? This is the 15-minute chart. When you look here to the left, the last time price was in this area, we had a reaction back to the upside. So can we hold this area? Right, that's going to be the question. Can we hold this area? Can we close above the 14 EMA, maybe get a retest, back down a little bit, and then another buy for a higher high to be put in? Remains to be seen. So that's why I'm waiting for price action to kind of show me what it's doing to make an informed decision. Somebody put D, this is a short. I mean, it could be, but remember, I'm going to trade the same exact way, guys, right? As of right now, if you look at the 15-minute chart, just looking at it, we had a double top put in. So that's probably what you're looking at, but we're also above the EMAs. 1 hour chart, we did have a rejection, but we're kind of holding. Four-hour chart, we are rejecting this is the 4 hour chart. We are rejecting the 14 EMA on the 4 hour chart. But look at the 4 hour candle that closed at 2 o'clock. It closed that as a bullish pin bar. So kind of keep that in mind. So just gonna let price kind of dictate what it wants to do, right? Just kind of waiting and seeing how price reacts, not rushing to get into a trade. Alex, I'm sorry, man, if it hurt your eyes, brother. But I got to stick to what I do. Does your wick strategy apply to the daily candle? Yes. It applies to every time frame. All right, so the 15-minute candle just closed. It closed as an indecision candle with a wick at the top and the bottom, almost the same length. So not too convinced, but it did close above the 14 EMA. So if I'm looking for buys on the 15-minute chart, I would want to push down maybe to like this 890 area. My stop would be 883. You might not get a full retest. So let me check the 5-minute chart just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm saying. So, all right, so if I'm in buys, my stop, would be below 883, or sorry, 887, which is the low of this 305 candle. But I preferably want to close on a 5-minute chart above the 14 EMA. That's what I'm really waiting for buys, right? Because right now price it hasn't closed above the 14 yet. So if it closes above the 14 EMA, maybe it comes back down, does a retest. I'm interested in buys. All right, Steven Rosario, I opened a new account just to trade an afternoon with you on your first stream. Green on the account, $2,312. You're killing it. Don't let this chat make you trade different. Yeah, hey, congrats, Steven, on that. I'm not gonna change my trading strategy. It's gonna stay the same. So happy to know that you're making that monies. All right, so it's looking pretty promising, right, on the 5-minute chart. You got a couple minutes left. So what I used to do is, and I'll be honest with you, what I used to do is if I see it pumping right now, right, I would get in, but like where would your stop be? So the higher you get in, the higher, the larger your stop has to be. So I want to close above the 14 EMA on the 5-minute chart. I want it to push back down, and I can kind of measure my stop based off of that. D-Money, do you like trading the earlier time? Of course, yeah, like the US session, I think you're probably talking about market open at 9:30. Yes. But you can make money doesn't matter the session, right? You just have to be more patient in the afternoon, and you might not get as many setups in the afternoon. So you got to be content with what you get. I mean, that's a fact, right? Yeah, so it's looking promising so far on the 5-minute chart. I must say that. All right, so this is the 15-minute chart. So anybody that was shorting, that account might be gone, right? So you got to be careful, because just based off of, like I said, the selling pressure that we had, NQ loves to kind of like trap, right? So you had a lot of selling pressure. Everybody think that, okay, I'm going to go short, and then whoop, right back above the EMA. So the 5-minute chart is closing above, it's going to close above the 14 EMA, which is promising. You got the 15-minute chart that has about 10 minutes left, has some strength to it. So now on this 5-minute chart, I would want to push down back maybe to the 917, 915 area. Might not get it. Yeah, and that's why, yeah, somebody's saying resistance right here. That's why I would want to retest down first to kind of measure my stop versus like chasing it, right? Like if it doesn't give it to me, then that's fine. How do you set your target price? So I basically look to the left on the chart where price has had some trouble kind of getting to. I look at the EMAs on a higher time frame. So give you an example. So this is the 4-hour chart that we're looking at. And I saw somebody was asking about the wicks. Can you make them darker? I'll try to adjust that so you can see it better. But the 14 EMA on the 4-hour chart is at 960 level. So that's where we've had some trouble before. So that would be an area of interest typically, right? So price is kind of forming like it wants to push higher. So what I would like to see is a push back down to maybe the 920 area, right? Because a lot of times what happens when it closes above the EMA, you'll get a push up and then it'll come back down and do a retest and then it'll push higher, right? And I might not get it. Like, I'm just being honest. I might not, but that's what I would like to see. I'm up 30 points from your call. Hey, that's good. Congrats. Why not? Why 14 and not 21? It's just a preference thing. There's nothing wrong with the 21. So the reason why too, like I would want to retest. If you notice on this current 5-minute candle, there's no wick at the bottom, right? This current 5-minute candle has no wick. So it's kind of like it pushed straight up with no retest. I mean, you know, so that for me is, you know, if it runs without me, it runs without me. I'm 100% okay with that. Not going to catch every move, right? So this boy good, he real good. We need to get him a code so we can start using DMONEY. So yeah, so you just actually use PW's code. But yeah, it doesn't have a wick, so for me, I would want to retest back down first. And you have to, you know, part of trading, you have to be comfortable missing moves, right? Because the FOMO can kick in for me right now and I take a buy and then it starts rejecting, right? But look, if I got in at 945, where would my stop be? That's the problem. Somebody put I'm up 69,000 for the day. I'm done. Hey, I will be gone. All right, so is Jerome gonna make an appearance in the future? You bet. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Yeah, Jerome's definitely gonna make an appearance, and as well as some other characters to be announced, guys. Got to keep it fun, right? I mean, why not? D-Money, what did you take today? Recap. So I took a trade basically off of, we had a bullish pin bar. It was after 2 o'clock. Bullish pin bar closed here. It came back down to the retest the EMAs on the 14. I took a buy. And it hit the take profit area. So George got to show up with this coffee. I know, right? Yeah, and guys, and remember, like in Power Hour, it's a little different than the morning session because it's the close, like you're going into basically the close of the stock market, right? So that's where it can be a little different. So sometimes maybe I'll catch trades at 2 o'clock. Sometimes it'll be after 3. It just depends on what the market, you know, what it's doing, right? So yeah, Power Hour is so much slower, correct? I don't think anyone available like you who guide candle pattern so nicely. Oh, I appreciate that. I try. Not perfect, guys, right? So, I mean, and everything that I share with you guys, I've learned it in transparency, probably through losing, to be honest, like through losing trades, trying to figure out like why I lost the trade. D-Money coming down for a retest. Yeah, I see that. So that's what I'm looking for on the 5-minute chart. Just got to be cautious because this could also be a higher low put in, because when you look to the left, you had a high that was put in at the 24,965 level, right? And you do have kind of like a head and shoulders pattern like kind of forming right now, so you got to be cautious of that when you kind of look in this area. But I'm definitely watching it. So 30-minute chart. Interesting, right? This is a 30-minute chart. You gotta see, so this is how you kind of know price is kind of ranging right now, because you got kind of like a double top, but then you got a double bottom, right? This is on a 30-minute chart, so you got to be cautious of that as well. So I didn't know the importance of the bigger time frame till you showed up. Been trading better ever since. Hey, I'm glad I could add some value, but you're the one that's doing the work. You're the one that's taking the trades. Audi 3539, when are you going to take a trade? So when the setup presents itself. So you had a buy. I took a trade on the 2 o'clock, basically 2 o'clock session, hour candle opening. And I'm waiting to see if I can get a trade now, right? So I'm trying to wait for this 5-minute candle to close. I want to see if we can hold the 14 EMA, which right now is right back in this range, right? So that's not looking too great for buys. But I'm going to see how this candle closes. Do I scale in and out? Yes, it depends on how comfortable I am with the trade. So if it's a lot of times though, you'll hear me say like, oh, my trades break even, so I can't lose on the trade. So if you see that, then yeah, I'm scaling depending on the setup for sure. D-Money, I'm in a challenge starting today, past 250K with power hours. So far up 1.6K. Hey, nice work. Congrats. All right, so this is why I wanted a retest on the 5-minute chart before taking buys, right? Because take a look. It's starting to reject. You got about 15 seconds left. Look at the 15-minute. Look at the 15-minute chart right now, right? So that's not looking too hot with the long wick at the top. And then this is the 30-minute candle. So if I take a buy, I want price to push down. My stop would be below 882 if it can come close to the EMAs. So I'm trying to wait to see if I can get a decent risk reward trade. 901. All right, so let's see. All right, so yeah, PW's in the house. All right, so here's that 15-minute retest that we're talking about, right? So I would like to see price push down, respect the 14, so I can kind of get a measured stop. All right, so I'm in a buy. My stop is gonna be, and this is only one contract, guys. So see if we can get a push back up to challenge the highs that were put in. If it breaks this 900 level, I'm going to be out. So I'll be cautious on this one. So yeah, it's a controlled stop on this one. And so either way, we'll be green on the day with this small controlled stop on one contract, right? So it's holding the EMAs, so I'm taking the buy. Looking for a price to push up to the 949 area. But it needs to hold a 14 EMA, right? So in order for that to work out, so we'll see. What's the upside target? My target is 949. But it's only one contract, right? So and it's struggling a little bit, but it's holding. But if it breaks we had a retest basically of the 14 EMA, so that was the trade, right, that I kind of talk about, bouncing off the EMA. This is on the 15-minute chart. It bounced right off the 14 EMA and started to push up. So I want to see momentum to the upside to put in to challenge that 948 to 950 area. If it can't hold, then we'll get stopped out. I'm confused. I thought you said at the beginning you were trading 4 Lucid accounts. So, guys, I am trading 4 Lucid accounts. I'm showing the trading view screen because it's easy to see the chart. So yes, you are correct. I'm trading 4 Lucid accounts. So when you're trade copying on TradingView, it's only going to show one account, guys. Yeah, I'll take one. Thanks. All right, so let's see if we can get some strength. Thank you. To push up. We're starting, right? But can it continue? That's the question. Somebody said it looks like a bear flag. So, I mean, I'm playing off the EMAs and price action, right? So if it doesn't hold, like I said, I got a controlled stop, guys, so I'm not worried. How is my copy trader set up? Yeah, it's through Trade8, correct. Through Trade8. So we need to see some strength here. It's kind of going back and forth. Struggling a little bit. Yes, my stop is gonna be 906. So my entry on this trade is actually 922. The stop is going to be the 907. If it stops me out, it stops me out. Either way, I'll be profitable on the day, right? So all right, so we got it wants to push higher. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, somebody put it's going down. It could, guys. Very, very, very much so, right? I mean, take the trade, let it ride. Do you draw some kind of supply and demand areas or maybe trend lines? And if yes, how and when would you do it? So to be honest, the more you look at the charts, you can just look to the left and you'll see like where price reacted before, right? So you don't even have to draw them. That's the thing. So it just depends. Everybody's different. Davey DayTrader, D-Money, missed the first bit of your show. Excited for you. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. All right, we got some momentum. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So Matt Rad, you're doing great. Keep up the great work. Fantastic work. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Mucho gracias. Steve, do I ever move my stop to break even? Yes. You'll see that a lot. It just depends on the trade. So, yes, I do. All right, there we go, there we go, there we go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, so I'm gonna move it to break even at this point, guys. So this is gonna be a free trade. Put a little bit in profit, because if it comes back down, I don't want to be in it, right? So if it comes back down and stops me out, I don't want to be in it, right? So it's a free trade at this point. Let's go. I want to see expansion to the upside pretty quick here at this point, right? It's been playing around. All right, nice, nice. All right, so I'm gonna move my stop up a little bit more, right? Let's go, let's go. So either way, you're going to make money on this trade. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I might close it here because it's close to that 940 area. I'm talking 9 points. Give it a little bit longer, a little bit longer. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, Cletus. Come on, Cletus. Come on! Oh, it's stalling back. All right, so I closed it, guys. That boy good. That boy good. That boy good. Yeah, I closed it because I didn't like how it was pushing back. So sometimes you gotta close. You gotta know when to fold. All right, so that's over $1,000 per account, guys. So that's $4,000 on the day. Let's go. That boy good. That boy good. All right, so somebody had a good question. They were kind of asking about, like, okay, do you trail your stops? You guys saw that on that trade because I started moving it deeper into profit. I'm not gonna let it pull back on me because you got to be mindful, right? If you look at the time, we're also going into the 1 hour close, and I talk about that a lot. That the 1 hour close is basically A lot of times you'll get a reaction at the 1 hour close, right? So that's why I trailed it basically up because of that. So let's look at the, all right, this is the 1 hour chart. So remember, right, also keeping in mind what's going on the higher time frame. So the last time we were in this area, price rejected the 50 EMA, which is at 963, 24,963 area. The last 15 minutes of close super volatile. Correct. You're absolutely correct. So guess what? I'm not giving back profits, right? If I already, so I know guys, so I took 2 trades, and typically I trade 2 to 3 trades per day, and that's it. But you're correct. Typically in that last 15 minutes, it's some volatility coming into the market. D-Money, are you recording this? Would be great to watch again. Lots of knowledge given. So yeah, it's a live stream. You should be able to go back and rewatch. People getting out of their position. So I'm out. I'm content. Right? So I don't have to be greedy, guys, right? I mean, it's afternoon session. I didn't trade this morning, so I'm 100% content with 4,000. All right, so the thought process, let's recap that trade. We're going to go back to the 5-minute chart. All right, so what I kind of figured out is a lot of times you'll get a retest. So this was kind of like the retest on a 1 hour chart coming down, forming a bottom wick. But then when you had that initial push to the upside, I did not take that first push, right? Because first of all, we couldn't get a candle that closed above the 14 EMA. So once we finally got this candle, this 315 candle that closed above the 14 EMA, we had the next push up, and then we had a retest down. So that's where I basically wanted, right? I wanted a retest where I can control my stop. Stop was actually below the 907 area, which is the low of these 2 candles pretty much. And that trade worked. D-Money, you need to put your chart on dark mode. I don't trade dark mode, my guy, but I appreciate the love. Love your thinking process of how you take your target, because entry is easy, but I have been struggling to take where you take profit. Ended up price coming back to my entry. Yeah, like I said, guys, I pretty much learned. I think with trading, you have to go through the fire. You learn through the fire, right? So you learn by taking losses. But you have to learn from those losses and not do the same thing over and over, right? So that's pretty much, I just started adapting to what wasn't working, and I tried to turn it into a strategy that works. Doesn't work all the time. Nothing's gonna have a 100% win rate, but at least I can have a measured stop if it doesn't work. On some real, your thought process is incredible education and a ton of value in it. Appreciate you, man. Hey, I appreciate you for tuning in. Can I explain the wick theory? Yeah, you're gonna have to continue to tune in, but in a nutshell, if I go to the higher time frame. All right, so this is the 1 hour chart. So I'm always looking to the left price right now on the 1 hour chart is currently in the middle between the 50 and the 14 EMA. And I'm looking at what happened the last time price was at a specific area. So I'm using the wicks as a determination a lot of times for a measured stop loss. So we took out this current candle, this current 1 hour candle, took out the lows, the last two lows, right? The last 2 hour low candles, put in a lower low, but it failed to break below this 868, 869 area, right? So we had some selling pressure that pushed down, and that was basically the bottom wick forming. And then typically, even if they're going to price, if they're going to push price lower, a lot of times they want to push it higher, which is a retest to the upside, right? So when you go down to the 5-minute chart, you can kind of see that selling pressure that we're talking about here. All that selling pressure. You had momentum back to the upside. You had a retest of the EMAs. I took a buy, and the rest is, that's it. He gonna miss a trade with all that explaining. So I'm not interested in what happens. So remember, guys, you got 10 minutes left, 11 minutes left in this current 1 hour candle, and this 5-minute candle itself has already rejected down 15 to 20 points. I'm not looking to trade that. Did you watch ES as a reference? No, I did not. You're killing it as a streamer. Hey, I appreciate it, man. I'm just being me, man. I'm just being me, right? So I'm just trading the way that I trade. Not everybody's gonna like the way that I trade, right? Some people might think it's boring or whatever the case may be, but I'm trading what works for me. Stand true to myself, right? So I'm glad that you like it. All right, so do you live or do you live from your trading? So yeah, so I'm out full-time trader now, and obviously PW brought me on full-time as well, right? So yes, super excited, super grateful. So I can't get teary out. I feel like PW is gonna call me if I start crying. So I gotta hold it in, chat. I gotta hold it in. Can I do a video on my strategy? So I'm sure that's coming like down the line. So just kind of stay tuned. But if you tune into the streams, I mean, I'm taking the same trades every day. The only difference now is that they're happening in the afternoon instead of in the morning. D-Money, can you show an example of a fair value gap? That would be a negative, sir. So I don't actually map out fair value gaps on my chart. I don't do that. Like I said, I'm here to trade, guys, and I'm not here to talk about a strategy that, that I don't use. I don't use it. So will these concepts work for trading gold as well? I'm sure they will, because price action works for every instrument, right? So it doesn't have to be NAS. It could be gold. It can be whatever commodity. It doesn't matter if you're trading commodities or NASDAQ, ES, stocks. Price action is price action. Do any of your coworkers watch your stream? I'm not sure, to be honest. I mean, if so, they haven't reached out to me about it. So I'm not sure if they're watching or not. So the word travels pretty fast, right? People talk, so that's one thing. So it wouldn't surprise me. D Money, you the man. I'm up $500 from the live. Hey, congrats. You did the work, man, not me, right? I'm just calling out what I see and taking trades that I'm convicted on. Whether they work or not, they're not going to work on every single trade, but D Money, are you red or green? I'm actually green on the day. On the day, so I'm up about $4,000. I'm trading the 150K Lucid accounts. How long have I been trading? 10 years. But obviously I started out just like a lot of people, I think, penny stocks. So the whole Tim Sykes deal, and then, trading. I actually traded stock options, believe it or not, for a little bit. I tried that, and then Forex, and then now futures. What are my thoughts about this recovery from Friday? Do we keep pushing or do we dump? To be honest, I'm not sure. So I think my strategy has always been, and I had to work on this a lot, is basically not being proactive, but being reactive to what the market does. So I think that's a better strategy that works for me, is letting the market kind of show its hand, and then I can pick my spots and I can kind of measure my stops and take profits based off of what the market's doing. Because if I get too caught up on, today's the day that the market's gonna dump, right? Like, for me, that's not a good strategy. I would rather wait and let the price kind of set itself up and show me trades that I feel comfortable taking, whether it's buys or sells, and then I go from there. How often am I red? Guys, I have red days. It just depends on, what I'll answer that question like this. What's minimized my red days is trading the higher time frame, because I'm going with a bias from the higher time frame. So my win rate is not as good if I'm trading. If I can tell you right now, terrible win rate for me trading the 1 minute chart was not good at all. So I pretty much eliminated that from my chart. I don't even look at it. And there's people out there that can trade the 1 minute chart and make a ton of money. So I'm not knocking them at all, but it's not for me. Do you have a max that you will lose before you call it a day? Yeah, it all depends on the account size.
I started with Ross at Warrior Trading Pennies Sub.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but isn't it funny, like, when you look back and you think about the journey? It's funny, right? Like, so we all had to start somewhere. Do I recommend single monitor or multiple monitor for trading? I mean, that's a preference thing. That's totally up to you. I can't tell you how many monitors to have, right? It's whatever you're comfortable with. his besties are watching. When's the last time you had a red month? I'm not. So it's been a little while, to be honest, because when you're trading a higher time frame, even if you have a losing day and you have controlled stops, like, you can, it's easier to basically bounce back. And that's why you can't get caught up on a red day, right? Red days are going to happen. So, and if you guys kind of look at the price right now, just as an example, we're kind of going nowhere now, right? We're kind of consolidating because look at the time. That's why somebody mentioned like, oh, he's missing a trade. I'm 1,000% content with the 2 trades I took today, because I'm aware of the time. DK England, great first day streaming. Thank you. Cheers. Hey, cheers to you. Thanks for tuning in. And guys, the stream, I can promise you, the stream is only going to get better, right? So show was great. I'll be watching you from now on. Appreciate that. I make trading look easy. Oh, Jemalet, what's up? I make it look easy? Nah, I mean, listen, the battle scars, you get battle wounds. Like trading, you know, I talk to my brother all the time about trading. Like trading will literally break you down to the point where you like, man, I've had like dark times trading. Like, I'm just being honest with you guys, because it's something that you want to master so much. And it's like the one profession that you're going to lose a lot before maybe you win. And that's hard, because the typical job, maybe you're always good at whatever job you did. But in trading, you're going to go through the fire first. Right? And that's uncomfortable sometimes, because self-doubt can kick in, and you know, you see a lot of P&Ls on social media, and you're like, oh, like, why is this person making money and I can't make money, right? So my best advice on that is not to quit, right? So keep trying to get better. Go back and look at your trades. Why did you take trades where you kind of, maybe your mindset for the day wasn't right? I used to do that a lot too. I used to rush. Like, maybe I was dropping my daughter off at daycare or something, and then I'm late getting to the charts, and I feel like I got to rush a trade instead of waiting for my right setup. And for me, that's appetite for disaster, right? So all right, so trading tells you about yourself. I learned I'm impatient and greedy. It's one thing that the NASDAQ has taught me, is that being impatient and being greedy is not going to end up good, right? So, all right, so kind of looking at the chart, because we're at that 4 o'clock mark with what's going on with the market, right? See how we kind of just consolidated now in that area? That's why I was content taking profit, because typically there's not much, right? After that initial move, nothing wrong with taking profits and securing the bag, right? So, and we're kind of stuck there. So why do I hold my losers longer than winners? I've been there. And guys, like, PW kind of talked with me about that on stream last week, right? I think I had took buys, and it ended up being like a 40-point trade, but he was like, hold it for me, D-Money, hold it for me, right? For that 100-point banger. So it's because a lot of times for me, taking buys, if I'm in a trade and it's a buy and I'm up 30, 40 points, it came back to my entry so much that I would close it early. So now what I do, I at least trail, right? Which I feel better about. So D-Money, you are a natural, bro. We've seen lots of people on this stream, and whatever it is, you got it, bro. Hey, I appreciate that, man. That boy good. Joe, that boy good. That boy good. Confused about higher time frames. Doesn't everything happen on the 1 minute first, then the rest follows? So you are going to see the momentum build on a 1 minute chart first, but remember, for me, it's just too many candles. Too much noise. And like, where's your stop going to be, right? So I'd rather measure it off the 5 minute chart or higher. Well, guys, I think great first stream, right? So I appreciate you guys tuning in, rocking with me, right? So on this journey. So like I said at the beginning of the stream, I appreciate PW giving me the chance. So the opportunity to come to the BDH and actually get acclimated, and I love you, man. So, on that note, guys, until tomorrow, salute to you guys. We gone. Catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in to the D-Money Show. Looking forward to the next stream. Peace out.
Every legend has a story. Every story has a beginning.
Price
New
is
energy,
moving.
new show, new money. Coming soon to the BDH the D-Money Show. Live on YouTube. Weekdays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern.
Took those buys off the 200 level. Who's doing it like we doing it at the BDH, the D-Money Show, Power Hour? Nobody's doing it like us, chat. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I close. I'm out. Where's my money bucket? Where's that money bucket at? It's raining money, chat. It's raining money. The market maker's raining money on me. We got a visitor, chat. Let's see who it is. Jerome's in the house. Live from the BDH. I'm here, baby. That boy good. That boy good. That boy good.
Every legend has a story. Every story has